More Arizonans watch 12 News than any other local news. 12 stands for local news.
Sometimes it seems like there is a new mall being built on every street corner. But one mall that is going up has been around for some time. If you haven't been shopping there lately, the Scottsdale Fashion Square is undergoing major renovation. However, the owner of the mall, Westcore Partners, doesn't intend the project to be just another mall. When completed, it may very well be the largest and most extravagant mall in all of Arizona. And Westcore says Scottsdale is the perfect location.
The city of Scottsdale is very upscale and is one of those few places in the United States that can truly have a major upscale mall that would be one of the real destinations of the United States.
When finished, the $100 million project will connect the existing square with Camelview Plaza to create one center. Just try and imagine a 3-story complex with a retractable roof and a 2-level bridge to connect the existing malls. The final phase of the project is scheduled to be completed in the fall of 1990. But the stores are still open if you'd like to see what the plaza looks like before it is transformed. Scottsdale Fashion Square used to be a quiet little neighborhood shopping center, but with the transformations taking place, it will soon become an Arizona showcase. For 12 Business Today, I'm Jeff Burrows.
Poles snapped in two, wires strung across side streets. It's a disaster zone. SRP has patched its customers into another substation, so they have power now. But it'll be a while before the neighborhood is cleaned up.
Well, like I say, we've got everybody back in service. We should be completed here or everything back up by probably midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning here.
Along these few blocks, 9 poles are down and 600 customers were without electricity for 6 long and muggy hours last night.
My wife was standing there with the door open. She seen that pole break there.
My boyfriend called me at school and said, be careful on the way home. Don't go down 23rd. Go back way. And that's what I did.
I had to carry my dad's flashlight around to go to the bathroom and stuff.
Most took it all in stride. Frank's Market still doesn't have air conditioning yet, but was open for business this morning. But if you want a popsicle, you'll have to drink it. Even the cable people were out here today, and they were a little smug about the earlier storm damage.
Cable's working, but the power's
Power now. The biggest inconvenience is trying to get around all the downed lines. And the biggest fear is that it'll happen all over again tonight. The forecast says more heavy thunderstorms are on the way. Lynn Sue Shepard, Channel 12 News.
There's something odd about your collar, though.
There's no neck underneath it.
Oh, it's indescribable.
This is crazy. I can't figure out what I'm doing. I think I'm going to hurt myself. You ain't seen nothing yet, as the saying goes.
Okay, let's sing. We got about 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
What barbershop singing is just plain fun.
We need the tape covers so we can reuse them again. Otherwise, you'll go home with sticky vests.
Crap, these damn pins.
Oh, I can't think of a word.
I sometimes wish I was a kid again.
I want to hear them because they are one of the greatest choruses in the world.
Time. On stage.
Arizona, London direction, Mr. Mulbaro. The Fascinations! Strike up the band, the big brass band, raise our colors high.
There are all kinds of harmony, but barbershop harmony is unique to itself.
As an individual, you have to give up just what is your best and blend in.
Everybody join the big parade, join the parade with drums and trumpets everywhere.
The way we drive ourselves, you'd think it was big bucks, but it's a hobby alone. And I guess the motivation is the applause.
This music is good for everybody. There's a shortage of it in the world.
We're auditioning people for our Clown College class of '88. Okay, now give me your funniest walk. Your funniest walk.
If you're in the ring and you're a clown, we want them to reach the person in the back row, far up there that can't see us clearly, and to reach people in their heart. Well, you can learn the skills, and you can learn how to juggle and walk the stilts and put the makeup on, but you really got to want to be a clown, because it's a rough business.
Get your hat on your head, stick out your right hand, and just walk. Walk right by him. When you walk right by him, so you go.
Because sure, it's nervous when you first come down. You're like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And they're really a good clown. They really want to be here. But at the first time you audition anything, Broadway dancers or whoever, you get nervous. It's hard auditioning, and so we let them feel at ease.
I've always been kind of a clown, a goof, and I really enjoy making people laugh. And I think I could do a good job if I could get into clown college.
I've been wanting to be a clown ever since I was a kid, and I almost ran away with the circus. And just to make kids laugh.
It's intriguing, it's travel. I like traveling. I like seeing different places.
All right. Great.
It was for groundbreaking ceremonies for the long-awaited Mercado project, a joint venture between Chicanos por la Causa and Esplanade developer Fife Symington. Dignitaries lent their symbolic shovels for what will be, in just over a year, a $15 million complex of shops, restaurants, cafes, offices, and an Hispanic cultural center. It's a Southwestern-flavored centerpiece for the Valley's unique heritage.
I think that the bottom line is that it allows Hispanics, it allows the state of Arizona and Phoenix to really share in the culture of the Hispanic community. We would be a cornerstone or have a sense of identity to the city.
Nestled next to the city's historic block, the Mercado will join a whole bunch of other new projects, all coming together at about the same time. The Herberger Theater, the Arizona Center, and Square One complexes. Mayor Goddard told me they'll create a critical mass where downtown renovation will take off on its own.
The hope and the expectation and the reality is that we'll have a place where if you need something to do on a weekend or in the evening, you can come downtown and you can find something exciting going on, whether it's a place to eat, a place to go and have a concert or enjoy entertainment or music, and it's all going to be here, and it's going to be very, very good.
This party was for a special occasion, but instead of a downtown everybody flees after work for their suburban homes, the Mercado developers hope to help make this kind of activity downtown.
The people of New River and Desert Hills see this truck and these volunteers as the new team that will take over the job of protecting their community from fire disaster.
This has been real exciting. The response has been tremendous. It is the community supporting it, it's the community doing it, and it's pulling the community together as a unit.
Rural Metro Corporation serves many of the Valley's outlying communities, and they're having to give up fighting the area's fires due to costs. Funding for the station became too much for the independent company to handle.
The sole reason is situation that has caused us to have to leave the community. That is the only reason.
This truck was donated by the state, but equipment is not what has New River and Desert Hills worried. They need money to keep it operational.
Hopefully we won't have a lot of fires, but yeah, that's what we're here to. If the need arises, we'll be here and protect the people. And like I say, it's the community definitely protecting itself.
Well, I know by Rural Metro donating the fire truck and the equipment that we have placed on the truck for them is at least going to give them a chance. It's going to give them an opportunity to be able to provide some service with the equipment that we were able to turn over to them.
Even with all of the obstacles that face the volunteers and the many factors that go into keeping this station in running order are all challenges that they are willing to accept. Paula McClure, Channel 12 News. These roadblocks have become a common sight in the city, but come Friday, the barriers will be taken away.
In a couple of years, it'll be open all the way through Phoenix, and that's the key. That's what it's designed to do, speed up traffic through downtown Phoenix, and that's going to change that traffic picture a lot.
We're basically at the stage where we're catching up to most of your major, larger urban areas, and Phoenix has a ways to go in providing a full freeway system for the urban area, and that's going to take some time.
But for now, Valley drivers will be able to take I-10 all the way to 7th Street on the new inner loop. Also opening will be the Squaw Peak Parkway from Highland to the elbow of the Papago. Carpoolers will be able to use the new high-occupancy vehicle lanes, marked with these white diamonds, a new 3-car plan from the city.
Going to try and make it work with 3, going to try and convince people to carpool. Those in a 2-person carpool, go out and find one more person, take one more vehicle off the road. It's going to help the air quality situation as well as the traffic situation.
All of this new construction is meant to give Valley drivers more access.
They'll be free to move about the city a little more easily than they do now. Of course, this is just part of it, and it won't do the whole job. And there's still a lot more yet to come.
I think people should obey the law. It's just like any other law.
And that's why he blew the whistle. This guy was tired of smoke drifting out of offices into his space. Aware of the city ordinance protecting his rights as a non-smoker, he called the smoking hotline to complain.
Good morning, Smoking Hotline City of Phoenix. This is Mickey.
As the city smoking hotline coordinator, Mickey Hermanson has handled more than 600 complaints like the one from Channel 12. It's her job to make peace between smokers and non-smokers.
The first thing I try to do is work with that employer to establish a place where that person can go to smoke. Because I understand how they feel. I used to smoke.
Management sat up and took notice when they found out how much the fine would be if they were cited.
It's $300 for the boss, $100 for employees who violate the ordinance. So right away, management banned smoking in individual offices and set up 2 separate lounges where smokers could indulge. And signs went up all over the building to eliminate any confusion. Non-smokers are happy, and even smokers don't seem to mind.
I get a break from my desk every now and then. I'm not bugging my coworkers, and I know it bothered them, and I'm smoking a lot less.
You were able to smoke in your office until another employee complained. Are you mad at that person?
No way. No. I respect their rights. They're entitled to their feelings about smoking as I am to mine. I just feel that if it's the majority rule, then that's the way it is. I'll go with it.
But as an ex-smoker, don't you understand the problems that these people go through?
Certainly, but I don't have those problems anymore.
Maybe it'll help push me towards quitting this silly habit anyway.
It sure does look good, but we have already had more forest fires this year than last year. It has been so hot and so dry that almost every national forest in the state is under severe fire restriction. That means this.
You need to have a campfire only in a developed campground that has the facilities, has a fire ring, has grills for charcoal. There, fires are permitted.
What you cannot do is drive back in the woods, clear out your own campground, and start a fire, not even to cook. If a wilderness camp is what you're planning, make sure you pack a camp stove, a propane stove, that burns with the flame inside.
That's the only safe way to do it right now.
Now, the only place where those fire restrictions don't apply is here, Saguaro Lake and the other lakes on the Salt River system. And if you're hoping that we're going to get just enough rain before the 4th of July that you can have your campfires up north, don't count on it. It would take a lot of rain to make that happen. So plan ahead. You know how many people will head north for the 4th of July, and with the fire restrictions, it will mean a lot of people competing for limited space in those developed campgrounds. If you wait too late to start out, you may just have to turn around and head back to the heat. Nobody's driving on them yet, not cars anyway. But come tomorrow morning, you'll be able to get around downtown on the Papago Freeway and use the Squaw Peak Parkway to continue on north almost to Camelback. No real reason why it has to open tomorrow, but the city and the state agreed on the date, and each is holding the other to it.
We're really hustling to get it open, yes.
It's been a hectic week. I don't want to do it again anytime too soon.
Some changes to watch for, like the speed limit. It's 55 on the Papago, drops down to 45 on the Squaw Peak. Just keep an eye out for the signs. And this, it's called an HOV lane, high occupancy vehicles. You and I will probably call it a bus lane. They've been used for a while in Los Angeles, and at first, people found a way to cheat. But it didn't work in LA, and it won't work here. Your car has to have at least 3 live human beings as passengers, no dummies. If you try to drive alone in your car in that lane, plan on a $50 fine.
There is no law in the state of Arizona against driving in an HOV lane, but there is a law against failing to obey a posted sign. And they will be posted, they will be signed, and DPS will be enforcing it.
The state of Arizona, I take this opportunity to welcome all of you here this morning to one of the most important and significant events in the history of our state.
And with a flurry of speeches and the optimistic and kind words of the officials involved, the state and city jointly dedicated the latest portions of their 2 freeways to be completed. The Papago from the Maricopa Freeway to 7th Street and the city's Squaw Peak Parkway north to Highland.
We truly became partners in relieving traffic, providing access to our inner city, making our downtown core a vital place that it needs to become. The heart of the city needs to thrive in order for the whole city to live and be a vibrant place to be in.
But even before the dedication, the first accident happened. A DPS officer knocked off his motorcycle by a line construction crews pulling power cable dropped in front of him. He'll be okay. And now crews are putting the last-minute touches on the projects before pulling down the barricades in just a couple of hours, opening new sections of highways that cost nearly $200 million to build.
We love the new road, and we're coming down from around the airport.
It's beautiful. It's just gorgeous.
I think it's great. It should have gone on 10 years ago.
But in dedication ceremonies, Governor Wofford noted worthwhile projects are never easy.
The state has had 5 governors since then. 2 of them actually sought the office, and 3 of us were placed here by circumstances beyond our control.
Within a few hours of the ribbon cutting, the barricades were down and traffic was rolling. Not too much at first, but enough to relieve congestion on other routes.
We're looking at about 50,000 vehicles a day. That's our best estimate of what's going to use it initially, and of course that's low in terms of overall traffic volumes that we're used to in Phoenix. But as you note, it only goes to 7th Street. But it's 4 miles.
That's expected to double in 2 years when the gap through Central Phoenix is finished and the Squaw Peak Parkway interchange is completed. Till then, you can't use it to drive from the north to the west and vice versa.
I thought I was lost coming back from Gilbert. I think they're doing a lot of...
If you can't escape to paradise, the idea is to bring paradise a little closer to home, someplace as close as the Buttes. And rock bottom summer rates bring out folks like Anna and Charlie Simpson, who were lounging by the pool even before rush hour traffic was over.
Well, you've got a restaurant and a nice resort and a pool and jacuzzi and, what else do you need?
Feels great. The sun, the water, the price.
Owners need further proof of how crazy Phoenicians are. They only had to look as far as the locals hanging out in the 100-degree jacuzzi. What's not crazy is the low summer rates. The point goes from a $170 double occupancy room rate in the wintertime to $75 in the summer. The Camelback Inn drops from $195 to $69. They throw in breakfast. The Biltmore knocks off $100 from $180 down to $80. And Westcourt in the Buttes drops from $115 to $65. It has an amazing effect on husbands.
Husband comes home after a hard day of work and says to the wife, honey, let's just get away for the weekend.
And that's exactly what happened to Bob and Mona Friedman.
My husband told me to put on a dress and pack my nightgown and that we were going somewhere, and he wouldn't tell me where we were going. I had no idea.
Pleasant surprise.
Pleasant surprise.
We have a major storm sewer project taking place in 7th Street that's going to disrupt traffic for about the next 5 months.
Rush hour drivers have had 8 years to try to get used to barreling down that center yellow lane on 7th Street. It's one of the busiest routes in the city with more than 100,000 cars a day. But beginning tomorrow, they're going to lose about half of the reverse lane from Indian School to Northern. At the same time, much of another major alternate route, Central Avenue, is still torn up.
It won't be as disruptive as the Central project because we won't be removing all of the pavement. They're going to only take out the pavement where they have to install the pipe. So you'll be driving on pavement, you just won't have as much pavement there anymore.
Nonetheless, the city expects more confusion and accidents, more flared tempers when drivers hit 7th Street tomorrow morning.
We do expect some disruption. People are going to take that natural move and get into the reverse lane, and we've put up special overhead signs that are flagged to try and grab everybody's attention, and we have ground mount signs that also advise motorists not to use the reverse lane. I think the real conflict period is going to be this first week. Once the construction starts and you have all the gear sitting out in the middle of the road, there's not going to be any doubt.
And as if that weren't enough, in a couple of months, the Maricopa County Flood Control District will begin tearing 7th Street up here at the Arizona Canal to begin work on a bridge for the AC/DC Diversion Channel project. The timing is not coincidence.
No, it's not coincidence. We've timed these projects so that we only have to get in there and disrupt the traffic one time. It's, as you noted, a major disruption, and we really want to only have to do that to the motorists once.
So the motorists.
That's correct.
America is full of places to go adventuring by car, but for sheer variety of landscape and the wealth of things to do, there is not much to compare with California's North Coast country. Just north of the Golden Gate, you will find a pristine wilderness called Muir Woods. It affects the average visitor like an enchanted forest. Most of these trees were alive when Christopher Columbus discovered America. A couple of hours from San Francisco is the small fishing village of Bodega Bay, where you can enjoy a day of salmon fishing aboard one of these boats for about $40. This is Sonoma County, whose rugged coastline rivals that of Big Sur. But there's more to the county than coastline. It's also wine country, and Sonoma is home to Corbel Champagne Cellars. The tasting room in the town of Guerneville keeps up a steady stream of bubbles at no charge. Head east and you will find yourself in Napa County, the biggest wine-producing region in America.
The key to enjoying California's wine country is not to rush it. Savor it slowly, much like you would a fine wine. Spend at least 2 full days here, and if possible, 2 days during midweek.
And when you've had your fill of the grape, climb into the saddle and enjoy a trail ride and Western barbecue at the Wild Horse Valley Ranch. Cost about $40 a head. Then, how about a relaxing mud bath in the town of Calistoga? You'll find no freeways or high-rises. It's very much old California. Exploring America's back roads, Paul Ryan, Channel 12 News Today.
Good evening. This is Channel 12 News Tonight.